Nice to meet you. Hi, ladies.
My dad officiated football and basketball for years. And it was really just sitting in the living room watching games on TV. And my dad would mention things about different rules, or he would quiz us and he'd say, okay, now what is that? And we'd say, oh, that's a false start. Or was his foot in bounds there? How many feet do you have to have in bounds in college football? How many do you have to have in pro? So it was kind of a natural thing. It just happened, being the youngest of 6. But my parents always tell me that when I would go to games, I wasn't one of those kids that would run around. I would sit there and watch the games. Obviously, I don't remember that, but that's what they would say. They were like, of all the kids, we didn't have to worry about you because you would just sit there and watch the game.
This way, stay still around the circle. There we go.
I was an assistant coach at Baldwin Wallace College, but I was the biggest jerk to officials that you would ever come across. I thought I knew it all because I played. So I play, I watch, I know the rules, I know. It was after a BW home game where I was running my mouth, and my dad came up to me and said, you know, you ought to take the basketball officials course. And I said, why? And he said, because you're making a fool out of yourself on the bench. You think you know the rules, but I'm telling you, you don't know. So I did. And I remember the first 2 classes I took, I was shaking my head at things I thought I knew that I didn't know. And that's why to this day, I think coaches should have to take the officials class, but officials should also have to coach some games, AAU or something like that, so that we can both get an idea of what the other is going through. And I don't think you'd ever hear from a coach again.
Don't yell at me too bad when I make the wrong call.
Again, as a former athlete, I love their intensity. I love it. I would love to play for an intense coach. But the problem is, we've loosened the reins so much, we're expanding the coach's box, and now they're still out of the coach's box. We are encouraged, hey, don't be quick giving a coach a technical foul, talk to him, and everything like that, and we do. And then it just keeps going more to allowing coaches to do and say almost anything they want, that I would prefer that we start having not zero tolerance. I don't want that. I want coaches to be able to talk to us and even complain a little bit. But I would like it to be reined back in some, and it has to be, because that is the main reason that officials are getting into it and getting right back out of it is dealing with the coaches.
22 shoots.
I think the reason that I like it so much is you still get the same butterflies you got as an athlete. When you are in the locker room pregame, it's no different than the feeling coming out to run out and break through the banner that the cheerleaders made before the game. You still have that exact same feeling. When there's a close game and there's under a minute to go, you have the exact same anxious, all right, I'm gonna nail this, I'm gonna do my job, and that focus that you have as an athlete.
Hey, next one's bonus down here.
For anyone who would want to get into it, the first thing that I always say to grab their attention is, hey, how much do you think the officials in that Michigan-Ohio State game are getting paid? And I said, what if I told you it was $3,000 per official for that one game? That stops them in their tracks. They're like, are you kidding me? For new officials or people who are just thinking about it, the open door policy to come on in, come to one of our games, sit in the pregame locker room meeting to watch and listen to the things that we say or the way that we do things. Come out and shadow anytime. Anybody, I don't even have to know them. If they call me, all they have to do is meet me at the gym or at the football stadium, and they can watch what we do anytime they want.
Carry!
I've been helping kids with their college recruiting, exposure, talking to coaches on their behalf, getting them in front of coaches so that they have the best chance to find the right school or the perfect fit for their college years, and then walking the kids and their parents through the process, because for them, it's brand new. In a lot of cases, they don't get as much help as maybe they would like to get from their high schools, from the administrators or the coaches. And I don't really blame the administrators and coaches for that. They just don't have that type of experience. Well, I've been doing this for 24 years and hundreds and hundreds of athletes, so I've been fortunate that I do. And I love it. It's so much fun to see kids go from no exposure at all to signing a national letter of intent. It's so much fun to work with kids like that. Yeah, I do help bigger name kids, Joey Hollifield, Jacob Plants, Jake Hartbarger, who's at Michigan State. Yeah, definitely. But it's the kid that flies under the radar that's really good, really driven, has a great attitude and great character, and then having a chance to help them, man, that is so awesome.